मेरी कोई औकात नहीं है, मैं आप में से एक आदमी हूँ। यहाँ पे गद्दी के लिए नहीं आया, मैं कुर्सी के लिए नहीं आया, लोकपाल बिल के लिए, लोकपाल बिल के लिए 100 बार मुख्यमंत्री की कुर्सी देनी पड़े।
तकलीफ इस बात की है जिस दिन अरविंद केजरीवाल जी एक झूठ नहीं बोलते हैं और 4 लोगों के ऊपर देश में कोई आरोप नहीं लगाते हैं, उनको रात का खाना हजम नहीं होता है।
हम आपको बताना चाहते हैं अध्यक्ष जी, जन लोकपाल बिल प्रस्तुत हो चुका है, जन लोकपाल बिल पर चर्चा कराई जाए।
Tabling of this bill, according to law, will be considered null and void.
Good evening and welcome to the buck stops here on a historic day. 49 days is all that it took for the Arvind Kejriwal government to decide that they wanted to resign. They want to end being in charge of Delhi. Arvind Kejriwal has resigned just a little while earlier on. In fact, he's on his way right now to the Lieutenant Governor to hand in that resignation. This comes on a day of fast-paced political developments in the Delhi Secretariat, where Arvind Kejriwal was unable to successfully table the Jan Lokpal Bill, which has been at the core of the agenda of the AAP party. That was voted down, as a result of which Arvind Kejriwal lived up to his promises, which he'd made to NDTV first, where he categorically said, if the Jan Lokpal Bill is not true, I will not wait for a moment, I will resign. And that's what he's done today. And I can tell you, outside the AAP party's office, and I assume most other parts of Delhi, it's absolutely pouring. But the mood over here is not of resignation, it's a mood of celebration. A lot of people over here believe that it's now just a matter of time before Arvind Kejriwal goes to voters once again and the AAP party emerges in the top. Will that actually happen? We can only wait and see. Before I go across to stories, I just want to bring you a few quick reactions. A lot of people around me, they've been waiting in the rain, they want to say a few things. आप क्या कहना चाहते हैं?
जनाब, मैं कहना चाहूंगा कि केजरीवाल साहब ने जो प्रॉमिस किया था कि अगर आप जन लोकपाल बिल पास नहीं होने देंगे, उस इवेंचुअलिटी में हम रिजाइन कर देंगे. ही हैज फुलफिल्ड द प्रॉमिस. आज वैलेंटाइन डे है, बीजेपी और कांग्रेस वैलेंटाइन डे सेलिब्रेट कर रही है. ये राजनीति थी कि किसी भी तरह से जन लोकपाल बिल पास नहीं होने देना था. आज ये ग्रांड विक्ट्री है. ये हिंदुस्तान के लोगों के लिए बहुत बड़ा मैसेज है कि दोनों पार्टी एक है, एक जैसा.
You wanted to say something.
हिंदुस्तान का मसीहा अरविंद केजरीवाल, इन भाजपा और कांग्रेस का आज काला मुंह हमें विधानसभा में देखने को मिला. भाजपा जो गुजरात में दंगे कराती है, कांग्रेस पार्टी जिन्होंने 84 सिख कत्लेआम का अभी तक दोषियों को सजा नहीं दी, उसी की सजा देने के लिए.
You don't think that he should have waited, tried to push it in one way or the other? Why resign now? Why not keep fighting?
The question is,
वो खुद ही बढ़कर रोक लेते हैं रास्ता मेरा. वो खुद ही बढ़कर रोक लेते हैं रास्ता मेरा, फिर पूछते हैं राह की दीवार कौन है. देखिए, कांग्रेस और बीजेपी एक तरफ तो कांग्रेस समर्थन कर रही थी जी, एक तरफ वो उनकी टांग पकड़ खींच रही थी. कोई बिल पास नहीं होने दिया, संसद में खड़े होकर.
मतलब कोई ऑप्शन नहीं था उनका?
नहीं, कोई ऑप्शन नहीं था. देखिए, मैं आपको एक बात बता देता हूँ, इस देश में जब तक भ्रष्टाचार खत्म नहीं होगा, जब तक कुछ भी होने वाला नहीं है. उनको सीट की बर्बादी.
Okay, all right. I'm just going to quickly go across now. I'm told to Prashant Bhushan, who's been watching and listening at all of this. Mr. Bhushan, is this essentially Arvind Kejriwal having achieved a political strategy of his? Basically, that he wanted the BJP and the Congress. All right, I'm sorry, we don't have Prashant Bhushan at the stage. I'm sorry, I can't hear the studio. I'm not sure who we have at this stage. If the studio can just tell me. All right, before we go across to our panelists, let's quickly go across and take a look at some of the key developments today, the key bites from various political leaders on what's happened in Delhi today.
हमारी सरकार इस्तीफे देती है। दोस्तों, मैं बहुत छोटा आदमी हूँ, मेरी कोई औकात नहीं है, मैं आप में से एक आदमी हूँ। यहाँ पे गद्दी के लिए नहीं आया, मैं कुर्सी के लिए नहीं आया। आज अगर लोकपाल बिल गिरे तो आज हमारी सरकार इस्तीफा देती है। लोकपाल बिल के लिए 100 बार मुख्यमंत्री की कुर्सी देनी पड़े, 100 बार मुख्यमंत्री की कुर्सी में छावर करने के लिए तैयार है। देश के लिए अगर जान देनी पड़े तो अपने आप को सौभाग्यशाली समझूंगा। सरकार अपने आप को अंग्रेज मानती है, जैसे लंदन की सरकार हो, और दिल्ली के लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर अपने आप को वाइस रॉय समझते हैं उनका अंग्रेजों का। आज तक भारत के इतिहास में कभी ऐसा नहीं हुआ। सबको ये तो पता है कि बीजेपी और कांग्रेस वाले दोनों पीठ पीछे, पर्दे के पीछे रोज मिलते हैं, रोज मिलके देश को लूट रहे हैं। हम लोगों ने मुकेश अंबानी के खिलाफ एफआईआर दर्ज की है। मुकेश अंबानी के खिलाफ हम लोगों ने एफआईआर दर्ज की है। मुकेश अंबानी वो शख्स है जो इस देश की सरकार चलाता है। मुकेश अंबानी कहता है, मुकेश अंबानी ने कहा है कि कांग्रेस मेरी दुकान है, मैं जब चाहूं कांग्रेस में जाके जो मर्जी खरीद सकता हूं। और पिछले 1 साल से अभी तक यूपीए की सरकार को पिछले 10 साल से मुकेश अंबानी चला रहा था, और पिछले 1 साल से मोदी जी के पीछे भी मुकेश अंबानी है। मोदी जी के पास इतना पैसा कहां से आता है? मोदी जी हेलीकॉप्टर लेके घूमते हैं, इतनी बड़ी बड़ी रैलियों का पैसा कहां से आता है? लोग बताते हैं कि मुकेश अंबानी उसके पीछे है। तो दोस्तों, जैसे ही हमने मुकेश अंबानी पे हाथ रखा, ये बीजेपी और कांग्रेस वाले दोनों इकट्ठे हो गए और इन दोनों ने मिलके आज जन लोकपाल बिल पेश नहीं होने दिया। इनको ये लगा कि ये केजरीवाल के पास अभी तो एक छोटी सी एंटी करप्शन ब्रांच है, उसी से इसने नाक में दम कर रखा है। हमारी कैबिनेट ने ये रिकमेंड किया है कि तुरंत दिल्ली विधानसभा को बर्खास्त किया जाए और दिल्ली में तुरंत दोबारा चुनाव करवाए जाएं। दिल्ली में भ्रष्टाचार कम करा। हमने पूरी साफ नीयत से, ईमानदारी से काम करने की कोशिश करी। हो सकता है हमसे गलतियां हुई हो, हम भी इंसान हैं, हम भी इंसान हैं।
Well, let me go straight across to my colleague Aanchal Vora, who's getting reactions of what's happening. Aanchal, what are you hearing from the people around you?
Well, Vishnu, we are in fact on one of the streets in the national capital amongst the Aam Aadmi, the common man. Let's speak to them and find out how they take this move by Arvind Kejriwal and his party, a sacrifice or just a smart political move. What do you think? Do you think that Arvind Kejriwal's resignation is a sacrifice, is the right thing to do? Do you think he's delivered, or do you think he's just playing politics?
Well, it's nothing that you say. It is not politics. He hasn't delivered anything. And I think it's a big burden on the common people. It's a big burden on us.
But you're saying that he has not delivered?
No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't.
According to you, he has not delivered. What about you? I mean, youth, Vishnu, if you remember, has been a big supporter of Aam Aadmi Party. Now Arvind Kejriwal has resigned. Why do you think he's done that?
It's a political move, I think that, because he had made a lot of commitments which have not yet been fulfilled. He told that the prices of electricity would be going down, whereas it hiked up to 4 rupees per unit.
Okay, and let's get reaction of some other people. This man here, Vishnu, has voted for Aam Aadmi Party. Let's get his reaction as well. आपने कहा आपने आम आदमी पार्टी के लिए वोट किया था, तो अब ये जो मुख्यमंत्री अब नहीं रहे, लेकिन उन्होंने जो फैसला लिया अरविंद केजरीवाल ने, उससे आप सहमत हैं? आपको क्या लगता है?
बिल्कुल सहमत नहीं है, क्योंकि जनता ने उनको जितवाया था, बड़ी उम्मीदों के साथ जितवाया था, और जनता ये चाहती थी कि केजरीवाल जी यहाँ पे रहें, क्योंकि विधायकों ने तो उनसे इस्तीफा करने के लिए कहा नहीं, और ना ही विधायकों ने उनसे समर्थन वापस लिया। जब सरकार में हो, चीफ मिनिस्टर आप हो, शपथ आपने ली है चीफ मिनिस्टर की, तो आपको अपना दायित्व भी निभाना चाहिए एज ए चीफ मिनिस्टर। अगर वो जिम्मेदारी से भग रहे हैं तो ये उनकी गलती है, और इसको हम सरासर गलत मानते हैं। हम इसको बिल्कुल भी सही नहीं मानते, क्योंकि जनता के साथ ये धोखा है। एक तरह से धोखा नहीं देना चाहिए उन्हें, जनता के साथ जनता के काम करना चाहिए, जिससे कि जनता जो है उनसे जो उम्मीदें बांध के उनको इतना सारा वोट किया गया।
आपकी उम्मीदों पे खरे नहीं उतरे। Expectations of people who voted for Arvind Kejriwal, at least some of them here, Vishnu, tell us that he has not fulfilled those expectations. One more person I'd like to bring in again, a young person here. आपका क्या इसमें विचार है? अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने रिजाइन कर दिया, इन्होंने कहा उनके लिए वोट किया, तो ये ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए था, काम करना चाहिए था। आपको क्या लगता है?
अरविंद केजरीवाल ने रिजाइन दिया है तो ठीक दिया है, क्योंकि उन्होंने जो वोट मिला था वो भ्रष्टाचार के मुद्दे पर मिला था, जन लोकपाल के लिए मिला था। लेकिन अब ऐसा लगता है बीजेपी और कांग्रेस दोनों मिल गए हैं। जिस दिन से अंबानी के खिलाफ रिपोर्ट हुई है, जिस दिन से शीला दीक्षित के खिलाफ रिपोर्ट हुई है, दोनों में अफरा तफरी है।
तो आपको लगता है दोनों पार्टीज की साजिश है? बट डू यू फील दैट he did his best to get Jan Lokpal Bill passed, or was he looking at a very quick passage of the bill, and perhaps in parliamentary democracy it's not always achievable? Do you think he did his best to deliver?
No, actually he didn't. What I actually feel is that after 66 years of independence, I finally believe that we are living in a democracy, but that democracy didn't even last 2 months. So I don't think he delivered at all.
You don't think that his style of democracy lasted? Vishnu, you heard we've spoken to young people who voted for Aam Aadmi Party. Largely the feeling that we get from the ground is that people are disappointed. They wanted him to deliver, and according to them, he has not delivered. Of course, some supporters of Aam Aadmi Party here as well who say that this is a conspiracy by the Congress and the BJP against this party. Back to you.
Okay, Aanchal, thanks very much for those quick reactions. Let's get a few more reactions. Let's go straight across to my colleague Sonal. Sonal is outside the residence of Arvind Kejriwal, who's resigned as the Chief Minister of Delhi. Sonal, what's happening around you? Earlier on in the day, there were some rumours that in fact packers had already made their way to Arvind Kejriwal's house, the same house where he'd moved into just a few days back. But that perhaps is not true, but Arvind Kejriwal, one way or the other, on his way out.
Arvind Kejriwal clearly not the CM anymore, but the packers and movers, that news didn't really go through. Vishnu, that wasn't true. He's pretty much in his house right now along with his family. But I'm coming to you from the streets of the national capital, where it's pouring heavily, and quite understandably after the storming session that we've had inside the assembly today. I'm joined by several people who, despite the rains, have agreed to stay back and speak to us. Perhaps the passion of Arvind Kejriwal and the zeal and the zest that this news revolved around has kept them back here. I want to understand, Arvind Kejriwal, first time CM, Nayak CM, Aapka CM, lots of phrases used for him. Now certainly after 49 days, he's become AK-49 now. Do you think he did the right thing?
I think he did perfectly right, because he was just too confused with his agendas, and probably he's just messed up everything. Yeah.
So you think he did the right thing in moving out? आपका क्या कहना है? आपको लगता है उनको रुक के और थोड़ा टाइम देना चाहिए था सिस्टम को, कि उन्होंने रिजाइन करके सही करा?
हाँ, उन्हें थोड़ा तो टाइम देना चाहिए था, बिकॉज इतनी सारी एक्सपेक्टेशन थी लोगों की, और ऐसे में उन्हें कम से कम तो 6 महीने तो रहना चाहिए था। इतनी जल्दी रिजाइन करना इज नॉट गुड. इट्स वेरी डिसअपॉइंटिंग फॉर द मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द दिल्ली.
इट्स डिसअपॉइंटिंग फॉर द मेजॉरिटी. कई लोग कह रहे हैं कि अरविंद केजरीवाल ने ऐसा इसलिए करा क्योंकि अब लोकसभा चुनाव आने वाले हैं एंड वो उसमें कॉन्सेंट्रेट करना चाहते हैं. ये कहीं पॉलिटिकल होता हुआ दिख रहा है ये पूरा मूवमेंट जो एंटी करप्शन के लिए था? कभी
नहीं, डेफिनेटली जो पार्टी धरने से शुरू हुई, मैं तो ये कहना चाहूंगा कि आज भी वो धरने पे ही बिलीव करते हैं. दे आर जस्ट वर्किंग अगेंस्ट द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. दे नो नथिंग अबाउट द प्रोसीजर्स, एंड डेफिनेटली द सीट ऑफ द सीएम इज नॉट अ ट्रेनिंग इंस्टीट्यूशन. लेट मी टेल यू, लोग बैठ के सोच रहे हैं कि उनको 5 साल का टाइम देंगे, धीरे धीरे सीख जाएंगे. डेफिनेटली नॉट. वी कैनॉट वेस्ट इवन अ सिंगल मोमेंट ऑफ टाइम. देयर आर सो मेनी पीपल, दोज हु आर एक्चुअली ready to sit on this seat.
All right.
This can
not ready to give him enough time. Divided views here, Vishnu, really. But people on the streets, the Aam Aadmi really saying is really divided at this point. What will be interesting to see is what lies ahead for Arvind Kejriwal. We understand from our sources in the Lieutenant Governor's office, in fact the Lieutenant Governor's office, the fact that, you know, his resignation has been received by him. Tomorrow onwards, the process will start on whether or not there should be a President's rule. Many sources at this point also pointing out to the fact that now that Arvind Kejriwal has given his resignation, will the Lieutenant Governor now give a chance to the majority of seats, which belongs to the BJP, to form a government? So interesting times ahead for Delhi.
All right, Sonal, thanks very much for sharing those details with us. Well, as you can see, it's absolutely pouring out over here outside the Aam Aadmi Party headquarters. And it was just up over there that Arvind Kejriwal on that first floor made his announcement telling people over here, all his supporters over here, workers of the Aam Aadmi Party primarily, that he was resigning as Delhi Chief Minister. His one-point agenda as far as the Assembly was concerned in the last few days was to push through the Swaraj Bill and the Jan Lokpal Bill. He was defeated in that sense. When he tried to table the Jan Lokpal Bill, the numbers were against him. He said, I will not wait a moment to NDTV some time back, and he came over here and he announced to his supporters that he was resigning, the government was resigning. It's been in power only for 49 days. But it's pouring over here. That hasn't stopped many people from assembling over here. They listened to Arvind Kejriwal in the pouring rain. Let me go across now to my colleague Neha Khanna, who's in fact also with me in this area. Neha, give us an idea of what you saw in the last little while. Hundreds and hundreds of people braving the rain in this cold winter, wanting to listen to Arvind Kejriwal make this announcement that so many of us felt was just about coming.
That's right, Vishnu. Well, it has been a day of dramatic developments, as you know, and as you mentioned, it is pouring here on a cold winter day, but that has not dampened the spirit of the Aam Aadmi Party supporters and workers who've been gathered here since the afternoon, when it was becoming clearer by the passing hour that Arvind Kejriwal was going to put in his papers. And as you have yourself witnessed, Vishnu, we are of course standing just a few feet away from where you are. The electrifying atmosphere here that's been there all evening, with these AAP supporters and workers shouting slogans all evening against their political opponents. And in fact, there is not even a hint of disappointment at the fact that the party is no longer in power. All these people here seem to be very, very enthused and are very confident that the party will actually go on to do very well in the Lok Sabha elections and in the re-poll that Delhi is almost certain to have now. Let's get a few voices in. Vishnu, ma'am, आप बताइए, सबसे हमें remarkable चीज ये लग रही है कि पार्टी अब पावर से बाहर हो गई है, इस्तीफा दे दिया है केजरीवाल ने, लेकिन यहाँ किसी को निराशा नहीं है उस बात से।
हमें इस बात से बिल्कुल कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा है कि अरविंद केजरीवाल ने इस्तीफा दे दिया है। ये एक नए चीज की शुरुआत के लिए हुआ है। ये इट इज नॉट एंड, इट इज बिगनिंग। ये अभी शुरुआत है, जो हम फुल मेजोरिटी से नहीं आ पाए थे और उसकी वजह से हमें ये हर्डल फेस करना पड़ा कि हम जन लोकपाल बिल नहीं ला पाए, वो हम अब आगे फुल मेजोरिटी से आएंगे और जन लोकपाल बिल बनाएंगे।
ओके, द बिगिनिंग नॉट द एंड। ऑल्सो सब वेरी क्विकली आपसे जानना चाहेंगे, बहुत लोगों ने जो उनके अपोनेंट्स हैं उन्होंने क्रिटिसाइज करते हुए कहा कि वो तो भाग रहे हैं जिम्मेदारी से।
देखिए, मैं एक बात कहना चाहूंगा, वो खुद ही बढ़कर रोक देते हैं रास्ता मेरा, वो खुद ही बढ़कर रोक देते हैं रास्ता मेरा, फिर पूछते हैं राह की दीवार कौन है। बीजेपी और कांग्रेस लगातार हमारी टांग खींच रहे थे, हमें कुछ करने नहीं दे रहे थे। सोमनाथ भारती जी ने जो किया क्या गलत किया।
अच्छा, तो आप ये बताइए, अब आपको उम्मीद है लोकसभा में खूब बढ़ चढ़ के पार्टी परफॉर्म करेगी, बढ़िया परफॉर्म करेगी?
देखिए, एक बात कहना चाहूंगा, बाय वर्च्यू ऑफ देयर ओन कंडक्ट द बीजेपी एंड कांग्रेस पीपल हैव जंप्ड आउट ऑफ कंस्टिट्यूशन जोन। पब्लिक बहुत समझदार है, वो जानती है लोकसभा में क्या हो रहा है। कल मिर्ची फेंकी गई, आज
पब्लिक सब जानती है। ऑल राइट, सो दैट्स द मैसेज हियर, विष्णु, फ्रॉम आम आदमी पार्टी supporters and workers. You heard the lady there saying this is not the end, this is just the beginning. Of course, it's a huge political gamble that Arvind Kejriwal has taken. Could it backfire, or is it going to pay rich dividends in the Lok Sabha elections and the Delhi re-poll? Time will tell. Back to you, Vishnu.
All right, Neha, thanks very much. Well, joining us to debate the merits of this decision taken by Arvind Kejriwal to resign at this stage, Kiran Bedi with me, Sanjay Jha of the Congress, Aman Sinha of the BJP. the senior editor Dilip Padgaonkar. I'm also joined by Mr. KTS Tulsi. Thank you all very much for joining us. Sanjay Jha, a lot of people say that this is exactly what Arvind Kejriwal had wanted. He has in a sense presented himself as a martyr because the BJP and the Congress haven't done what will be perceived to be the right thing. And that right thing would have been for the Congress or the BJP to support the Jan Lokpal Bill.
Vishnu, let me tell you, I don't think the people of Delhi will perceive him as a martyr at all. In fact, I think he's chickened out of a very, very wonderful opportunity to responsibly run Delhi, which was instead of a president's rule, which is now going to come in, which will give Delhi no formal government that could have worked on developmental projects. You'll have virtually status quo in terms of administration. So I think he's really hurt the interest of the people of Delhi, who have reposed so much of trust in him to give his very, politically rookie party such an overwhelming support. So I really feel that the people of Delhi will actually be devastated by his decision to, take some decisions which were very populist in nature and suddenly on a purely whimsical decision to leave. And I also want to tell you that Jan Lokpal Bill, there are constitutional issues that could not be violated. So, for him to really try and protest on that and use that as a flimsy protest to suddenly, kind of leave, I don't think it's going to cut ice with anybody at all. And I think the pertinent point, India at the moment has had enough of this kind of gimmickry, extremely Obi-Wan dictated prime-time television, mass media-driven campaigning. You've got to finally deliver. I think what he's done, he's surrendered governance, he's proved incapable of it, he's embraced political ambitions.
It'll be at that stage that elections in Delhi will also be held. Sanjay, I'll come back to you in a little while. Aman Sinha, let me bring you what Arvind Kejriwal has said. And he said that it's the Congress and the BJP who are both protecting Mukesh Ambani. That in fact it is Mukesh Ambani who's run the country for the last 10 years. But he's also saying that the BJP in a sense is involved and is corrupt as well. And that's why the BJP couldn't allow this government to continue.
Vishnu, let me start off by saying that Mr. Kejriwal never intended to get this Jan Lokpal Bill passed. If he was serious enough to get this passed, he would have gone through the procedure, established procedure which is there for introduction of a finance bill. And what was the difficulty? He could have obtained, consent of the governor, but he refused to do that. He only wanted to make political capital out of this Jan Lokpal issue and nothing more. Now, secondly, once, the governor says that this bill should not be considered, do you expect the, elected legislators to, debate it in the House? Now, as far as collusion is concerned, that question that you raised, the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress Party, they are both supporting each other at the floor of the House. Right from the inception of this Aam Aadmi Party, this was the first party.
The Congress and the Congress is supporting the BJP.
Vishnu, just let me complete it.
The other party is supporting the other. Yeah.
No. The real test lies in your actions, and on floor of the House, it is the Congress Party which is supporting the Aam Aadmi Party. But not only that, Vishnu, right from the outset, I will just take 1 minute more, Vishnu. Vishnu, just 1 more minute, please.
No, Aman, I'm coming back to you. Yeah, go ahead, Aman.
Just wanted to say, right from the inception of this party, this was the only party which was given, for the first time in history of India, a registered, unrecognized party was given a reserved symbol by the government of India after amending the election rules. Secondly, this allegation of reliance,
nobody expected them to do as well as they did in these elections.
I'm just pointing out to the fact that government amended their rules just in order to allow them to get a reserved symbol all over.
So that you
Delhi.
believe is the reason for them. Okay, let me go
even
across.
Up till
okay,
today,
fine, fair enough. Let me go across to Ashutosh of the Aam Aadmi Party. Ashutosh, how would you respond to those who said or who argue that from day one, when Arvind Kejriwal came to power in Delhi, he would have recognized that this is not the way for him to run the government. He needs to get the numbers, and therefore he was always looking for an opportunity to get out. The opportunity presented itself today, and that from here onwards he will come back maybe as a stronger leader.
See, Vishnu, this is a very bizarre situation. It's a very, very bizarre question you have asked. This country has seen this country has a political history where the minority government has has managed to survive for 5 years. So don't forget the Narasimha government and other governments also, how they manage the majority. And this is the political history of this country, where politicians, once they become the chief minister, they have opened their treasure and they have bought MLAs and MPs. And here is the chief minister who wasn't even bothered about how to reach a majority. Do you think that to get 36 number was a difficult for us? It wasn't difficult for us, but we were doing a principal politics, and our commitment was that we are here with 28 MLAs and 18 issues. We made it very clear from the day one. And here was the bizarre situation that people are saying that we do not know governance. Probably this is the only government since independence which has implemented the maximum number of promises made in its manifesto. If you want to count, I'll count 10 as such. Taking example like the electricity, the water, the mapping of the schools, the simplification of the VAT and all that.
All of you have highlighted that. No, I appreciate what you're saying, but let's just talk about today a little bit. How about those who say that you should have waited some more time? You should perhaps have waited, done things the right way, waited some more time, perhaps let this bill go to the centre and then perhaps have decided, okay, it's not working out still, then go. Why didn't you follow the procedure? That's what the BJP and the Congress argue about.
See, the BJP and the Congress they were looking for an excuse. This country has waited for 47 years to Lokpal Bill becoming a law. Do you wanted you wanted us to wait for another 47 years? I don't think this country is now ready to wait for another 47 years to a Lokpal Bill in Delhi to become a law. Unfortunately, the BJP and the Congress do not have a history where they could be trusted in this case, because they are scared people, because they indulge into the corrupt politics, and because they are scared that if this bill becomes a law, then tomorrow the top leaders of the BJP and the Congress will be behind the bars. And one more point I want to add: why today the whole world has seen how BJP and the Congress connive together, who declare and who project that as if they are fighting each other at the national level.
Ashutosh,
so the whole world has seen
the Aam Aadmi Party says the BJP and the Congress are together. The BJP says the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party are together. But let's move away from that and let me just go across to Kiran Bedi, who's been listening patiently. Dr. Bedi, a lot of people over here around me in the Aam Aadmi Party actually say that their Jan Lokpal Bill is much stronger than the Lokpal Bill which is through and which you have championed. That one way or the other, for Delhi to be secure, the Jan Lokpal Bill had to go through. How do you respond to that?
I'm grateful, Vishnu. I must complete this clarification. The Lokpal Bill, the National Lokpal Bill, which has been passed by the Parliament since December, which is an act, is a different one. Is a different front from which we were fighting. The one we were fighting against was a paper tiger. The one which has been passed by the Parliament is a strong law. I want to clarify. Let me complete the statement, because in left, right, and centre, Prashant left with an allegation that I was not clear on the bill. I want to clarify. Therefore, let me complete the sentence. The one which we have accepted is a very strong bill which has been passed by the Parliament since December 17, which is an act. It is not the one which we were opposing against, which we were fighting against. Therefore, the one which has been unanimously passed by the Select Committee gives an independent CBI. Independent CBI in the sense, CBI will not go back to the government for any matter which is referred by the Lokpal. They have their own budget, they have their own lawyers, they can arrest, they can seize, they have their own independent inquiry. They've got it all. Let me complete. What Arvind Kejriwal is misleading people today is he's not letting people know that we already had a strong national act, because the moment he lets people know this, there is no reason for him to continue to do what he's done.
Okay, so let me put that to Ashutosh. Ashutosh, respond to Dr. Bedi, who makes the point that the Lokpal Bill. No, Dr. Bedi, you made lots of points. Let Ashutosh respond to that.
Vishnu,
Dr. Bedi, let him respond to this.
Ashutosh,
I'll come back to you, Dr. Bedi. I will come back to you.
Vishnu,
I want to ask a question.
Go ahead, Dr. Bedi, very briefly.
I want to clarify. No. 1 minute. No, I want to clarify, Vishnu.
Dr. Bedi, very
Vishnu,
briefly, yes.
enough is enough.
Yes, yes.
What he should have done was to amend the Delhi Lokayukta, which Orissa has already done. Orissa has implemented the National Lokpal right away.
Okay.
He could have done that. He has not dealt us deliberately. Okay. Tell me who will tell the people.
All right.
He has misled the people of Delhi by not letting them
know. So you make that very strong statement. Ashutosh, why don't you reply to that? That Dr. Bedi believes the people of Delhi has been misled. Go ahead. Yes.
Vishnu, I just want to ask a simple question to Kiran Bedi, because Kiran Bedi for the last 3 weeks has been attacking Arvind Kejriwal left, right and center. I just want to ask a question. What is her view about Narendra Modi's Lokayukta bill, which has become a law in Gujarat? I just want to ask, what is her opinion about the Modi's Lokayukta bill, and what is her opinion about 10 years fight which Narendra Modi had and did not let the Lokayukta become law?
Very good Lokayukta Act.
It will be interesting for me to know what is her opinion about the Modi's Lokayukta bill. I want to know that. The whole country should know what is her opinion about the Narendra Modi's Lokayukta bill.
This is misleading it. You are diverting the issue right now. We're talking about the Delhi Lokayukta and Arvind Kejriwal not letting people know.
Narendra Modi's Lokayukta bill.
No, Dr. Bedi,
what do you think about that? You are criticizing Arvind Kejriwal's Lokpal bill, but please specify, please clarify to the whole nation. What is your opinion about Narendra Modi's Lokpal bill?
All right, Ashutosh, let Dr. Bedi reply.
Not letting people of this country know.
Let Dr. Bedi reply. Go ahead. Yes. All right, Parliament has passed a good law. That's what you say. But I want to get back to the politics of this. Dr. Bedi, yes, I gave you that opportunity. Go ahead.
Vishnu,
yes.
What I'm saying is, what Arvind should have done is amend the Delhi Lokayukta and improve that. He did do that. For that, he need not have suffered. BJP and Congress, I bet, would have supported him in strengthening and amending the Delhi Lokayukta. He never let people know of this country, even today, that the country has a strong look. Because the moment he tells them, there is no reason for him. People would have asked him, why haven't you worked on the Delhi Lokayukta? Had he worked on an amendment, he could have gone through the legal processes and he would have had the support. He has deliberately misled people, and that's only what I'm saying. I'm nothing against Arvind Kejriwal personally. He is misleading people.
Requesting her to please specify what does she think about Narendra Modi's Lokayukta? Is it a strong Lokayukta? Is it the battle and the fight
this is the issue right now. I am not telling Lokayukta. We'll come to the Gujarat.
Yes, it's a very strong Lokayukta. Vishnu, please allow me to respond.
According to the national
Yes, go ahead. Dr. Bedi, one moment. Dr. Bedi, one moment. Let others reply. Go ahead.
The model Lokayukta Act, which was enacted in state of Uttarakhand, was enacted by government of BJP. Anna Hazare and all his followers, including Mr. Kejriwal at that point in time, hailed it as the best anti-corruption and good governance legislation. That particular legislation was repealed by Congress party, and Aam Aadmi party, which claims to be a supporter and great votary of Lokpal and Lokayukta, they never raised a whisper against it. BJP was the only party which opposed repealing of that particular statute. Now this party today says, what is their commitment to Lokpal and Lokayukta? You want to create an illegality right from the outset, so that statute never sees the light of the day, and now you come on and make a political capital out of it. If you were serious about passing the Lokayukta Act, you should have gone to LG, obtained his consent, and then come back. BJP said that we will support you entirely.
And I can hardly hear you. But let me go across to Dilip Padgaonkar at this stage. Mr. Padgaonkar, if you can hear me, sir, how do you, as an independent editor, actually view what has happened today? Is this the political masterstroke by Arvind Kejriwal?
It certainly is. I think Arvind Kejriwal has carried the day today in the sense that he's outwitted both the Congress and the BJP.
Selfish stroke.
I think Arvind Kejriwal knew right from the beginning that if there is one value that will go down extremely well as far as public perceptions are concerned, it is the act of renunciation. And today, no matter what you have to say about the procedures followed or not followed, it is an act of renunciation that has gone down extremely well with his own party people. Secondly, Vishnu, I think we are just seeing the beginning of a completely new strategy that's unfolding, a strategy that we haven't really heard of for at least 25 years. You'll recall that in the late 1980s, two corporate houses became part of the political discussion in this country. This was Reliance and Bombay Dyeing, Nasli Wadia, as far as the latter is concerned, and Dhirubhai Ambani as far as the former is concerned. Today, after 25 years, what Arvind Kejriwal has done is to bring up front the nexus between big business, the political class, and sections of the bureaucracy. And I think this is going to be the leitmotif of the campaign between now and the general elections. And to that, I think, it's been more than a tactical victory for him. I think he's positioning himself for a major strategic leap as well.